What's up, y'all? This is Dre with Build 206 Media. We're here in the studio at the Build 206 studio. We're running this show called The Collective Network. So we got a young shaker and mover in the movement. His name is Fynniecko Glover Jr. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, brother. Thank you for having me. How are you doing?
Oh man, I'm doing good, man. I'm blessed, man. Trying to make things happen, trying to stay sane, man. Trying to stay COVID free in a world full of COVID, man.
I dig it, man. I dig it. I can totally understand.
So we're gonna just jump into the conversations. This is gonna be an open little dialogue between you. This is Collective Network. This is a show we're putting together to let folks know like what resources are out in the community,
Hmm.
and also provide a platform for people to share what they're doing in the community, but also ultimately so community could tap in and just know what resources, because we have a lot of resilient folks in the community that are doing a lot of amazing things. So it's an opportunity for folks to share what they're doing. So we appreciate you taking the time to come out here and build with us.
And thank you for having me once again. Thank you for everything you're doing in the community, this podcast and things you're doing that build, man, is helping the people in the community, our brothers that need it, and the young people that's coming up in the new generation. So I just want to say thank you for that as well.
I appreciate that, bro. So let's jump in. Let's just tell folks a little bit about yourself.
Man. So I'm Fynniecko Glover Jr. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm from Seattle, Washington, born and raised in the South End. So I'm kind of involved in a lot of different things. I'm an entrepreneur, as I was saying. So I own a company called Sprout, where we help youth and young adults, connecting them to different internships, scholarships, job opportunities, helping them find their entrepreneur pursuits, pretty much honing in on their skill sets. So by the time they get ready to graduate high school, or if they're out of high school or in college, pretty much honing on things that their skill sets, their things that their passions, things that they like, so they can be able to turn that into something that they love to do. One thing I understand is when you work, sometimes you want to do something that you love to do,
Right.
not something that you want to wake up and that you have to do. So one thing I wanted to help youth and young adults understand is do something that you love to do to where it doesn't feel like work, and it's something that you can make fun of it, make it to where you can sustain yourself, get a career out of it. So that's kind of like what I do over at Sprout. I recently just became the Rainier Beach Economic Development Manager. So that's another
Well,
thing that.
congratulations. Let's talk a little. Just share a little bit about what that role entails.
Man, yeah. So I'm gonna be helping gauge the business development in the Rainier Beach community. So the various real estate projects like Rainier Beach High School, the the new apartment complex that's right next door to the McDonald's. That's just the name. A few, I think I want to say the name is Polaris. I'm still getting familiarized with some of the buildings and the things that's going on, but I'm gonna be pretty much helping the economic prosperity for different various communities, and making sure that Rainier Beach can get economic opportunities for the youth, for the elders, and for the people that's living within the area as well.
So making sure black folks, got a voice in the development of the South, and that's what's up. So all this information is in the description. If you guys want to get this information, there's links and stuff in the description. So make sure you guys check that out. It sounds like this young brother's doing a lot of amazing things. So you know, tell us. You already kind of dove into that a little bit, but tell us a little more about some of the other work that you've done in community or around community, because I know you've been involved. You're highlighting some of the stuff that you're kind of the lead on, but I know you've been in coalition and doing a lot of things with the movement that's been going on over the last couple of years. So I want to provide some space for you to share that, so people know they can tap in with you around some of the stuff that's been going on as well.
Yeah, so I am one of the founders of King County Equity Now, which started back in June 5th to pretty much highlight the Get Your Knee Off Your Neck rally. Was talking about the George Floyd, the passing of George Floyd, and how that affected us. And so pretty much a coalition came about, and we just started doing various events highlighting the things that's going on in our community and how our voices are not being heard and things like that. So over summer starting, I've been able to put on back to school fair for youth in the community, giving away backpacks in the COVID time, which was social distancing, which was very cool. We was able to help at least 100 families and youth get backpacks. We put on the Juneteenth event, Emoja Fest event, um, the 4th of July. There's very different things. We just put on the holiday event pretty much, and that was helping black businesses at the end of the year get some of their last things off before the 2021 kickoff. And so yeah, I've just been involved in different things, just helping our community grow, highlight different things that our community needs, and just wanted to be an advocate and a person that people can always look up to, look go to if they have any questions and things like that. I'm also working with Africa Town as well. I'm on the Africa Town Center for Education and Innovation. I'm one of the board members and board of directors for that organization as well. So educating our community on different educational things, how we learn, how to eat healthy, and things like that are very heavily, and what I focus on in helping the community understand.
That's what's up. Shout out to King County Equity Now. Shout out to Africa Town, and share how old you are, just so folks know. Like, leadership doesn't really have an age, but I just want folks to know, like, this is Black brilliance early.
Yeah, man, I'm 24 years old, and I'm just just a young person, just wanted to give back to my community because I understand that the youth, it starts with us. Everything is starting with us, and we're the ones that's going to be here in the next 20 to 30 years. So the change that we got to see got to start from us, and our voices have to be heard, and it matters. And you can utilize your inner genius that you have in all different ways. But one thing I understand is, coming to my community, I was able to excel, and people were able to put trust in me and put faith in me because my voice mattered.
That's what's up. So we're gonna transition a little bit from the work, that you are doing in community, and kind of, what makes you tick, and who you are, and those types of things. So who or what inspires you, and why?
Man. So the first one I gotta say, God. I can't do nothing without God. Without Him, I'm nothing. The second person I would say that inspired me, there's two. One is Russell Wilson. I gotta say Russell Wilson because he works hard. He keeps God first. He's a family man, and he's about his business as well. And I admire that in a man because it shows me the principles and the virtues and the values that I want in my life. And I try to embody that. I try to live my life kind of identical to people that I see living righteous in my eyes. People that I see giving back to the community. People that are that minimize themselves to help see somebody else's greater potential, their greater success, taking away what they do to uplift what somebody else is feeling like. And those are the type of people that I love to be around. So if I'll say Russell Wilson. And the second person I'll say that inspires me is this guy on Instagram. He's a famous entrepreneur. His name is Prince Donnell. I follow this man. He's very inspirational. He's a 26-year-old entrepreneur. He's a married man. He started his own tax company called Jumpin' Jacks Tax, where he helps black people in the community understand taxing, understanding real estate and different various things, helping young men as like myself understand masculinity, what it is to be a man, reading different books, giving us different topics to look up, to divulge in, to understand, to fester, to ponder. So those two men are people I look up the most, and who I find inspirational.
That's what's up, man. It's always good to have folks to look to inspire, and I'm sure, even older folks like you inspire me. So I mean, it's not just about, like I said, age or whatever, but I'm sure young folks are looking to you now, and so continue to, do the good work that you're doing in community, and for yourself. So what do you think about everything that's going on now in this time? Like the past year's been, there's been so much going on with COVID, and the new. I'm not even going to say new. This is, it's the movement. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's just it just really got elevated in 2020, which is a great thing. This crazy election cycle. There's city politics and stuff going on. So I just want to give you some space to kind of share. Like, what do you think? What are you thinking about everything that's been going on?
Man, first and foremost, I just want to say I love that our issues, the black issues, have been able to be highlighted to the forefront, in just all aspects. Even looking at the NFL players having just the back of their helmets saying like a slogan that matters. The NBA players highlighting the HBCUs and things like that. But when we bring it back to the city, just imagine Juneteenth, planning an event, 30,000 people come out,
Right.
and that's on Independence Day that black people were independent. They were free. They were no longer slaves. And highlighting that and being a part of that and just understanding like, whoa, there's all these people that's coming out to celebrate us. It's crazy. It's hard to fathom, especially when there's some people that don't even know what Juneteenth was.
Right.
And all the thing that's going on in the city, government funding, COVID, it's been crazy. It's been crazy. You know, for me, I'm a social person. So I love interacting with people. I love helping people. I love just being engaging with my communities, my friends, and things like that. So it was hard for me. So I know COVID has really hindered a lot of people. Even like I've seen some people in my community even pass away from it. And that's one thing like even kind of scared me is because there's people that's losing their lives over something that's we can't see
Right.
or we can't even slow down. And then what it kind of hit close to me when one of my coworkers got it. And then I was like, oh man. At first it was more so like it was elderly people when the first messaging things was coming out. And
Right.
then once a young person got it, I was like,
It's real. Like it's real.
I was like, it was real. And I was like, yeah, I gotta protect myself. And so just all that happening, I loved how the governor kind of put a halt and a slow down, kind of like on our state, like rolling out these phases have been very instrumental. I feel like because like we're going slow, it's slow and steady.
Right.
It's not just kind of like Texas where everything's open. It's like we are actually taking the correct steps to make sure everybody's safe. And so with all this stuff going on, I just want to say just keep everybody try their best to stay safe and just continuously, help out, spread their voice and highlight things that's happening within their community.
That's what's up. So you talked about like, protecting yourself and protecting community. So this is a, self-care and self-help has been like a hot, trending word, but sometimes as black folks, especially as black men, we don't really engage in those types of activities. So I want you to share, if you have any, or things that you want to do, some things that you've done to take care of yourself over this past year, because it's been, foot on the gas, for the past 12 months. And this is hard enough being a black man in America, trying to navigate systems and institutions and so on and so forth. So what are some things that you have or things, and also, if you want to include some things that you want to do to try to take care of yourself?
Yeah, so pretty much for me, I set a goal out. Um, I'm 24, so I said for me, I want to be in the best shape of my life. So I created systems. I created a system to have an accountability partner to help me get to the best shape of my life. So I have a friend where I work out. I run first thing in the morning, 7:15 in the morning. I run maybe 2 miles, mile and a half. Because one thing about that I understand about running, it's a mental stimulation. So getting that mental stimulation is like a natural. I vibrate at a different frequency. And so I understand like doing the running that I do, it helps me keeps my body clear. Like I could see, I could I don't for me is the way explaining it is different, but like I could see things that I probably couldn't see before
Right.
because I'm actually clear. I have a clear conscience. And so as you were saying, like health is wealth. And that's kind of like one thing that I take very important because as I get older, um, I kind of see these different things that's happening within our communities, the diabetes, the heart attacks, because like we're not eating healthy, we're not taking the right necessities into our body,
Right.
and so I kind of created a regimen, as I was saying, a system to where it's like I want to eat healthier, I want to be healthy, so I just changed my mindset,
Right.
started researching, started watching things that was going to help me get to where I need to be. One thing that I say all the time is get 1% better every day. It doesn't take it doesn't take you don't have to gain 10% to be better. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Even you just putting your shoes on to go run is better than you just sitting on the couch
Right.
and not going to run or going for a walk. Even you walking is better than you running.
Right.
You know what I mean? You not running. You know what I'm saying? Even you putting that snack down to go pick up a strawberry or a banana is better than you going to go snack on some bag of chips. But one thing that we have to understand is changing the consciousness in our brain, and it's understanding like that's 1%.
Right.
Before I was doing this, that was detrimenting my body or my physical health or my well-being. But me taking the initiative to understand, to be conscious and understand, oh, let me put this down. I'm gonna use this.
Right.
And that 1% is gonna help you get to reaching your ultimate goal of being healthy and striving to be in the best shape or wherever you're trying to be. And that's one thing that kind of helped me creating that system. Like, one, the accountability partner, two, taking the initiative to be 1% better every day,
Right.
and three, doing it.
Right.
And that's what has helped me and helped me understand that in order for me to stay longevity and stay healthy, that I'm gonna have to keep doing these things, these 1%ers that's going to help me get to the next level. And they say that habits are obtained or broken in 21 days. So those 1% gains that you're making in those 21 days, you're either going to break your habit or you're going to gain a habit.
Right.
And so taking the initiative to understanding, to create a calendar. Okay, I check it off every day. You're doing what you need to do in order to get to where you're trying to be.
And speaking of that, we are what we consume: food, knowledge, all that. Socialization, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're taking in a bunch of garbage, then a lot of times garbage is going to come out, right? And that's food
Exactly.
or exercise or whatever. And I've done the same thing. I got a chart checklist, that I've done
Mm-hmm.
so many push-ups, and I track it every day. Even simple stuff like eat breakfast, lunch, and
Mm-hmm.
dinner, because you're on the grind. You just push through. So just being intentional with the health stuff and its accountability. I think even like you said, sharing your goals with other folks to help them, and you put it to the next level. So I got this. You're here to be my accountability partner. So you got to tell me if I'm not on my stuff. If I'm not hitting my 1% today, so it's your job to hold me accountable. And I'm sure that you probably do the same thing for your accountability partner.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's just one thing that I understand. Like, having that accountability partner or just accountability circle, just a group of friends that you guys are trying to be on. You guys are on the same mindset, same wavelength, same objective. Being the best version of yourself, or being that best version of whatever aspect or the best thing that you're trying to get to, or the level that you're trying to get to. It it's like a competition. Me, I grew up playing sports. I played for Rainier Eagles, so I played on Rainier.
Eagles.
Come on, you know what it is. So just having that competition, um, having that competition in that competitiveness,
Right.
and just taking that competitiveness that I had growing up playing sports, um, and utilizing that into my day to day life, with business, with doing my work in community, and just the 1%, the personal life, getting better and getting healthier. I understand it's a competition. I'm in competition with myself. And so my accountability partner is the person that you know I'm not a competition, but
Right.
I'm battling with you because I want you to be better. I want you to be better, and I know you want me to be better as well. So that friendly competition just keeps thriving and keep igniting every day that we're out there, because we're pushing each other to be 1% better than the day before.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with a healthy rival, and especially if you're pushing each other to greatness. Like it's bad when it becomes unhealthy, right? Unhealthy
Exactly.
rivals and not trying to really want the best interest for the other folks. So what advice would you give someone looking to get involved in community work?
Man, some advice I would say I would give to someone. I'll just say, man, if you're gonna get into this work, do it from the bottom of your heart. Do it for what you want to do. Don't do it for anything else, for the clout, for the recognition. Do it because this is what you're called to do. Do it because this is something that you see valuable to your community, to your people, to your family, to your heritage, and something that you want to actually see other people come out on top, see other people advance, see your community advance, as a whole, as a diaspora, no matter what it is. So if I would say, if you want to get into community, make sure that you're doing something that you love to do, and you're have the right heart and the right intention in what you're doing, and the right message in what you're doing. And understand, you have to be patient with things in this work, because things are not going to happen instantaneously.
Right.
They're going to happen at a slow rate, under time, at a slow rate, and you're going to have to work and collaborate with different people that you may not be wanting to work with, per se.
Right.
And so you have to be able to keep that face, and you have to be able to hold that face or whatever your emotions in, because sometimes you might feel some type of way, or somebody may feel some type of way towards you, and you have to be professional in whatever aspect that you're in. So um I just say, like, if you're getting into this work, understand like it's a lot of work, and it's day in, day out, and some people may like you and some people may not like you. I'm just keeping it real, and
That's
I'm
real.
just keeping it a buck with my people, and they have to understand that, like, this is community work is for the advancement of your people. And
Right.
that's how I see it, and that's how I approach it. So when you're coming into this work, just be open, because anything can be thrown at you as well.
Right.
And so just take whatever you have in your passion, your heart, your vision, whatever you want to do with your community, and bring it wholeheartedly. And just understand that any day, anytime, a monkey wrench will be thrown at you, and you have to be able to pivot and adjust.
Yeah, and that's why goals and vision is important too. Like having goals around what you want to achieve. What's something I would add to that too. Just like you talking about your fitness and mental and all those different things, and having accountability partners.
Mm-hmm.
Having folks that are going to hold you accountable that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing for community.
Mm-hmm.
So it's real easy to get sidetracked or go with what's going on, and so on and so forth. So I'll add that. Really, like I agree with you. Like sometimes you might have to interact with folks, to get things done. But if it's ultimately feeding your goal
Mm-hmm.
and what you're trying to achieve in the community, then that's what you got to do, right? I may not want to get up and go on that run, but if I'm trying to hit this 1% every day, then that's what it is. So that's real. So I appreciate you sharing that perspective. So this is in the description, but I want to give you an opportunity. Like I know, with your Sprout and other things that you got going on. You have websites and things like that. So what's the best way for community to get in to reach you? To tap in with you.
Oh yeah, so yeah, you guys can reach me on my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or whatever. I have a link tree, so you can also get my information on LinkedIn as well. Sprout website, www.usprouts.com. Um, or you can just tap in with Africa Town. I'm part of Africa Town, Seattle Chambers of Commerce. You can get my information from there. King County Equity Now, various partners, Dre, yourself, Bill 206. There's a lot of different ways that people can get connected with me. I'm in the community. You can't forget my name, man. There's one of a kind, man. Fynniecko. So you know what I'm saying. But as I just said, you guys could connect with me in various different platforms. Pretty much Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Those are probably the easiest ones.
Yeah, so that link is in the description. So you guys go ahead and tap that link, and it's connected to all the other stuff that this young brother, innovator, resilient leader, has going on in the community. So make sure you guys tap in on that. And then I got a couple more questions. Um, which I'm sure you are. Is one question I have. Are you interested in? You have the capacity. I wouldn't even say are interested in collaborating. Do you have the capacity? Because I know sometimes with me, it's like, yeah, I want to collaborate on that. I want to do that, but it comes down to like the capacity with everything else with being a father and running an organization and working and family and taking care of myself and all that kind of sometimes I don't have the capacity. So do you have the capacity to collaborate with folks?
Yeah, we have the capacity to collaborate with folks right now, especially like with Sprout. We're trying to focus on getting some internship opportunities, or some creating different various pipelines for youth in the community. Right now, we're planning to do a resource fair. We are aiming for spring break of April, but it's probably going to get pushed to end of May, maybe early June, to help youth sign up for job opportunities and entrepreneur opportunities, volunteer opportunities. We want to get them hooked up to different things in the community before the summer pop off, so they have positive outlets, economic opportunities and things like that. We want to get them in the right direction. So we have capacity. That's kind of like what we're focusing on. So we love to collaborate with different organizations that have internship opportunities, economic opportunities, or may need some volunteers, as kids in the community may need to get their service learning hours for the graduation requirements. So we're kind of heavily putting our attention into partnering and collaborating with organizations to help youth in the community right now.
So this brother just listed off a lot of ways that you guys can get tapped in with him and the work that he's doing. But if you have other ideals, I think there's opportunity to. It sounds like he's open and has some capacity to collaborate. So make sure you guys check the link out in the description and reach out to this young brother. So the last question is really a question for me, but it's a question for you. So do you have any questions for me?
Yeah, man. So what brought you into this work?
Oh man, so I lost my brother when I was 23, and actually when you came here, I was on the check-in call that we were checking in with some brothers that are influential in my life. From 10 o'clock, we were on it from 10 to 2. It's supposed to get over, in an hour or so, but we just smashing atoms. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I lost my brother when I was 23 years old, and got very depressed, and didn't really understand what was going on, and got introduced to some people like Larry Evans, Aaron Counts, and other folks that were doing influential work in the community. Mary Flowers, which introduced me to John Page, and then I reflected on programs that were impactful to me, like Late Night and Hang Time and those types of programs. And that's where I got later on in life, tapped in with one of my elders, Rico Bembry, who
Mhm.
started Late Night. So that's really what kind of got me into the work. And then I started volunteering with young folks, and then I started really understanding, systematically that things were failing us. You know what I mean? I
Mhm.
know my experience. I went to 10 schools in 12 years. So from kindergarten to 12th grade, I went to 10 schools. That's a lot.
Yeah.
But, at the end of the day, I was able to navigate that and still be air quotes successful, right?
Mhm.
But I didn't really understand that it was systematic, so I started really, when I started working with these young folks, I started understanding the system and those types of things. So that's why how I got into it. And then this plugging in, losing close people, folks that were close to me, and just like I said, it just becomes a sense of normalcy, and that's why we say Black Lives Matter and all this stuff, because it just becomes a sense of normalcy that our lives are valued at a different level. It's just like this is this common news, right? And it
Yeah.
really shouldn't be. So that's what really got me into the work. It's a tragic situation turned into a great thing, which, like I said, introduced me to an ecosystem of great people, which, like, I outlined on the call earlier, which, ultimately, like, how it threaded to for me to even get introduced to you and the amazing work that you're doing, and have been doing. So that's, my short, long answer on that.
Man, I just want to say thank you for doing the work that you have been doing. When we first connected, it was like, man, it was it was like magic. Just being able to sit down with you and you talk to myself and my business partner
Right.
about ways to structure our business and some ideas that we had that we want to bring to fruition. And a year later, we're out here in the community actually putting what we the blueprint together that we
Yes.
put together. So I just want to say, the advice that you gave me and all the things that you've been able to help me with, the people that are gonna be listening, the viewers or the people that's gonna be tapped in, like you're an excellent leader in the community as well. And the work that you do does not go unnoticed because, if I could do it, some some of my brothers and my sisters could be out here doing the same thing, take taking the lead of, strong, powerful black men and women and understanding, like you guys are here to help us and
Right.
help us steer us in the right direction. And so I just want to say thank you again, for taking the time out to even come out to have this have a conversation and just be open with me about the things that you've been through and how you gained and became prosperous in the work that you've been doing in the community as well. So I just want to say thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And I appreciate that. And, I learn as much from you and other young folks and elders as folks learn from me. It's really the circle of life. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
my brother Isaiah says, you're either a teacher or a student. You're either teaching somebody something or you're learning something. So, all I say is I appreciate it, but, continue to pay it forward, man. That's Bill for real. You know what I mean? If I can plant a seed and you let it grow, let it sprout,
Hey.
and see that right there? They
Exactly.
let it sprout, and then that's built for real. You know what I mean? So I appreciate your time coming out and building with us and sharing. We actually probably we're going to be rolling out the stories from the South End podcast. So I'll definitely tap in with you on that, so you could talk about how growing up in the South End has impacted you and molded you with your values, core values, and things like that. So definitely want to tap in with you. So we appreciate you joining us.
Man, thank you as well, man. Thank you, Bill 12-6 for having me. And like I said, thank you for everything you're doing out here in the community because it doesn't go unnoticed.
So yeah, this is Bill 206 Media, the collective network. My name is Dre Franklin.
I'm
In
Fynniecko Glover Jr.
in the studio with my young gun out here. So Build206.com. Stay tapped in. We appreciate y'all. Peace.
Peace.